I'm the Courageous Goldfish, and today we are doing something a little bit different. I've been actually meaning to film this video for a very long time, but today we are doing a full-fledged room tour. I've tried to film this video so many times. I'm actually studying interior decorating in college, and so I'm constantly like nitpicking every little thing, like it's not perfect. But yeah, over the years I've honed my style, honed the aesthetic quality of the room, and so I am very, very excited to show it to you today. As with many room tours on YouTube, this is going to be a pretty long video, so if you want to go grab a snack, grab a drink, and settle in, I would love to share my space with you. Obviously, it makes sense to start with the angle that you are all probably most familiar with, and that would be the bed slash shelf type situation. This is the angle that I film all of my videos at. I like this for display shelf situation. We'll get into that a little bit later, but let's just talk about the bed first. So right now I've got this little blanket that I knitted, and also my Squishmallows kind of decorating the actual bed part. To the side here on this like space of wall that I have, I kind of thought it looked a little bit blank, and so I just kind of put up like a collage of some images that I thought are like aesthetic or like things that I like. So that was kind of my little brain baby there to fill in that blank space. The bed itself is actually a pretty cool setup. It is a Murphy bed, so I've got all these like storage situations here, and then you can kind of fold up the mattress part into the wall so you can have some extra floor space. On the left side here, I have some of my figure boxes up on top here. This is by no means all of them, it's just the ones that I could fit there. And then in this cabinet below it, I have my cosplay closet. So this is where I keep all of my cosplay outfits, all of my accessories, anything like that. That all goes in here. As well, my tripod and my ring light sit there when I'm not filming. So it's a dual purpose place. And then just below it here, I have like my sock drawer and pajamas and such, which I'm not gonna show you because that's kind of boring. I used to collect fashion dolls in middle school, and so I've just kind of got a few of my favorite ones posed up on top here. This is by no means my entire collection. The rest of them are downstairs in boxes. But these are just my favorite ones. I kind of like how this display turned out. I wasn't really sure what to do with this top space here because it's kind of a really weird height, and I think this works really well. This first cabinet here is where I keep all of my cosplay wigs, some other accessories and stuff like that that don't fit in the other cabinet. That's just kind of where that stuff goes. It's not very polished, but it works. And then this guy is just a bunch of random stuff. It's where the rest of my figure boxes have gone. I've got my spare jewelry box over there, some textbooks from school. It's really just kind of like the junk drawer of my room. I'm just gonna give you another look at this collage thing I got going on here. Just kind of mishmashed a bunch of different things together. I don't mind how it looks, to be honest. It's a nice way to fill the space. And then over here, of course, I have my cheerleading award. I've masked over my legal name and the school I went to, obviously, but that was something I was very proud of. And then these two things here, they're just teeny tiny little postcards that I got from a local stationery shop. This is my first shelf here. It is definitely the most practical one. So on this side here, I just have a small little glass jar that has like cords, my camera, etc. Just kind of like tech stuff that I use on a regular basis. It's got this really cool, like almost Sailor Moon, Millennium Silver Crystal-esque thing on the top. You know I love lotuses, and I also love Sailor Moon, and so I love the vibe. I've got my Hero characters hanging out here as well. It's my Pop-Up Parade Uraraka and my Ichibansho Todoroki. This little guy here is my Petit Chara Sailor Moon. She was a blind bag, actually. I just got lucky that I got Sailor Moon. I've had her for years. She's been sitting there pretty much the entire time I've had her. but we love her dearly in this house. And this is a photo frame. It just got a picture of me and my boyfriend in it, whose face I have taped over for obvious reasons. Got my Hybrid Gems resin goddess hanging out here. We love her dearly. And I actually used to collect teacups when I was younger. And this is one of the surviving ones of my collection. It was my first one and it was also always my favorite. And usually it just holds like my earbuds, some hair ties, sometimes like change for the bus. This little storage unit here is my best friend and best investment because this is where everything goes when I'm not using it. It's like the junk drawer, but for stuff I use every day. So in the top one here, I have my camping knife, which I use to open boxes, my computer charger, like my planner, etc., etc. And then in this bottom one here, I usually keep like vitamins that I take. I know it looks kind of sketchy. They're pills in plastic bags, but I swear it's vitamin D. I got a little flashlight, and this remote control on the right side here is actually for my space heater. That is an absolute lifesaver in the winter because I live in Canada and it gets freaking cold. On top here is where I usually keep my phone, and this little guy here is what I'm using to keep all my masks in right now because we are still in the pandemic where I live. Off to the side, I'm sure you've seen, it's the basic bitch cherry blossom IKEA lamp. Honestly, everybody has this. It's not new, but I think it's pretty friggin' cute. Shelf number 2 is a little bit more collectible based. So on this side here, we've got the startings of my Fruits Basket manga collection. I got gifted the first 3 volumes of this manga for Christmas like 3 or 4 years ago, and I could never get into it. But recently I watched the anime and absolutely fell in love with it, so I am wanting to complete the rest of the collection. They are just so back ordered right now that I cannot get my hands on any of the other volumes. So we've just got 3 for now, but expect that to change hopefully pretty soon. Then I've got my Shinx plushie up here. Shinx is my favorite Pokemon, and I've had that plush since I was like 6 or 7, so he's very near and dear to my heart. This is my Sailor Moon Replica collection. We've got my Moonstick, the Cutie Moonrod, Crystal Star. Obviously got my 2 Fairy Tail ladies here. I love the pop-up parades, and I absolutely love these figures too. This is a statue of Artemis that I got in Greece when I was there on vacation, and she's just kind of surrounded by my crystal collection. And then off to the side here, this is just the candle I'm burning at the moment. It's actually my favorite scent that I've ever burned, the vanilla birch. So good, smells amazing. That is my diffuser, and it sits on top of my little storage box that has all of my essential oils in it. Honestly, it's really more for ambiance than anything else. So, got my little essential oil collection here, some nail care stuff, etc. Above this, I kind of have this like rope and clothespin situation, and it usually has like Polaroids of me and my friends on it. Polaroids I've collected over the years, photographs and stuff like that, which I took down for obvious reasons. But if you're wondering why this is here, that's what it's for. So this is my 3rd and possibly favorite shelf. It's where most of my figures are at. This Piplup, you guys, he's so soft. I love Piplup. He's like my 2nd favorite. If you couldn't tell, I'm a Gen 4 baby. I've also got my little Poké Doll Sylvia on there that I got in Tokyo the first time I went. This is the only scale figure in my collection currently. This is the Union Creative Sebastian Michaelis from Kuroshitsuji. I love him. I went through a period where I was ashamed of having this, but he's so freaking cool. He's just so cool. He's just so awesome. I love him so much. These here are my Demon Slayer figures. Obviously, this one, my Nezuko, she's like one of my favorites in my collection. Definitely in the top 3. This figure is just so cool. I know I gushed about her when I unboxed her. If it's even possible, I love her like 10 times more now. Obviously paired with Zenitsu, he's so cool. And my Toys R Us Tanjiro, which If you know, you know. I had some problems with my Tanjiros. But it's okay now, they look really, really cool. I'm loving the composition of this, actually, to have them kind of like staggered in this way. I think it just looks really sharp. Over here we've got my tiny little Bakugan collection. This is a very large figure of Tigrera that I've had since I was like maybe 7 or 8. She's been with me for a while as well. And then I've just got my little Tigrera Bakugan, which I've also had for a long time. And then my Runo Misaki Funko Pop, just sitting there. And then on the end here, we have my Taito Prize Mikus. I love the Taito Prize Mikus so much. I'm a real big Miku fangirl. And I know Miku has a lot of figures, but I just think these ones are so unique and I love them so much. Fourth shelf here is just kind of some more figures and odds and ends and such. On this side, I've got my Bolt plushie. Bolt is actually my favorite Disney movie, purely because of nostalgia from my childhood, and so we love him. He's so fluffy. We've also got my Ufufi Donald Duck down here. I also love Donald Duck, and I really love the Ufufis. They are so cute. That is my Kiwi Beanie Baby. I don't know why I keep him, because he kind of reminds me of a bad time in my life, but he's cute, and it's not really his fault, so we love him anyway. Down here, this is my cursed Psyduck. I can't really tell you why he's cursed, because I don't know. It's just the energy, it's the vibe. You know what I mean? Look at that and tell me that you don't think that that's possessed by something, because I definitely do. And this is my Eevee Funko Pop. I know we don't like Funko Pops in this house, but my brother gave him to me, and so he's very sentimental. I've got my 2 Sailor Moon figures here. This one's actually a bootleg. That one's the only bootleg in my collection. She's actually not that bad quality for a bootleg, to be honest, so I did keep her, but she is the only unofficial one in my collection. This is my Girls Memories Sailor Jupiter figure. Jupiter's my favorite scout, and so I've had this figure for years and years. Classic, we love her. She was actually my first figure, so can never get rid of her now. Over in here we've got my Precure collection. So this is my Q Posket Cure White. This is my Candy Toy Cure Whip. And that is my Kira Kira Precure a la Mode Sweets Pact. This is just the little bunny shortcake that comes with the Sweets Pact. Off to the side here, I have my Q Posket Nezuko. She just didn't look right sitting next to the other Demon Slayer ones, and so I decided to put my 2 Q Poskets together. And this is my Shinwa Hiragi Dorbs. Again, I know we don't like Funko Pops, but literally this is the only figure they ever made of this character, aside from the actual Funko Pops. Over here, I've just got some souvenirs from my travels. So that is a Sphinx Cat statue from when I went to Athens. These are little blown glass candies that are Murano glass. So they are from Murano, which is an island off the coast of Venice. And they are known primarily, I think, for glass blowing and like glass craft and such. So real pleased to have those. They're special to me. That is a snow globe that I got in Singapore. That is a little tiny stone turtle that I got in Mexico when I was like 8. So he's been with me for a while as well. And this guy here, this is a little marble cat statue that I got at the Colosseum in Rome. And then we've got some more figures to end off the shelf here. I've got my Project Diva Arcade Reen and my Reen Funko Pop, and also my Sega prize figure Asuna. They just don't really fit with any of the other figures on the other shelf. I don't have any other SAO figures yet, and you know, Reen didn't really go with the Mikus, and so they're sitting on the end together forever. The rest of this wall is pretty simple. You can't see it that well because of the glare, but this is actually a band poster for my absolute favorite band. If you've never heard of the Beaches, please, 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 please look them up. They are an awesome Canadian all-girl punk rock band, and I love everything they do. All of their albums, all of their EPs. They are all amazing. I love them so much. So obviously, since they are my absolute favorites, I had to pick up this signed poster when I went to see them on their professional tour. I was never really big on earrings as a kid. But now that I've got a couple extra holes in my ears, now that I'm older, it's kind of become a part of my personality, and so I've got a whole bunch of different ones here. Mostly I favor studs, but got a couple hoops in there. Below it here on the hooks, I've got a selection of the necklaces I wear the most often. I love all of these and wear them all very frequently, but this one here is actually very sentimental to me because this was my great-grandmother's locket. Nobody can tell me exactly how old it is, but we can guess around 100 years old, and so it's really precious to me. Family heirloom. I've also painted all of the light switch covers in this room because I am chaotic. And I've got a bag organizer just hanging off the back of my door. This is where I keep bags that I don't use on the everyday, but it's just kind of like ones that I use every once in a while. So I've got a couple shoulder bags, I got some backpacks. Wall number 2 here has my bookcase and my vanity on it. That's my closet door. We don't need to talk about that. It is a mess constantly and forever. There's no fixing it. Above my bookcase here, I've just got another art print. This is actually a canvas from HomeSense. I just really liked the colors in it. I think they tie in very nicely to the room. And it also kind of reminds me of my trips to Europe. This bookcase is just from IKEA. It's a very basic Billy bookcase. But on the top row here, I have my French Revolution box. I got gifted this box from the French Revolution for Christmas like 3 or 4 years ago. It is one of my most prized possessions. Hopefully you can see that okay. It's really heavy. In the middle here, I have my Sailor Moon HGIF Premium Collection. Very overpriced. I way overpaid for this figure, but I do really like it and I am happy to have it in my collection, so it's okay, it works out. This is Phyllis. She is almost a year old now. She's thriving, I think. She looks pretty good as far as houseplants go for me. Shelf number 2 is where I keep all of my books and like DVDs and stuff like that. Yeah, I just kind of got my basic books. These were relics from my childhood, my Kate DiCamillo books. I actually really want to talk about these for a second. These are really cool illustrated versions of like cultural folk tales. So there's like Tales of Japan, Nordic Tales, Celtic Tales, East Africa, India. They're making a Russian one that I've got on pre-order. But these are just absolutely gorgeous books. Like, they're always illustrated by somebody of the cultural identity that the folklores are based off of. So like this one is one from the India book. Obviously, I am like straight from the Wonder Bread bag. But I love reading these. They are so gorgeous. I have always had a very curious fascination with folklore tales, and so getting to read them from all around the world is just amazing. I love these books so much. I've got my Switch games here and the first season of Sailor Moon on DVD, because of course I do. I've also got a copy of my favorite Studio Ghibli films. I've got Howl's Moving Castle on DVD. I've also got the first 6 seasons of Game of Thrones on DVD that I got off of Facebook Marketplace for a steal of a deal. So I love Game of Thrones. I'm watching it with my friends. I'm not finished yet, so please do not spoil it. We just finished season 4, but I'm loving it so far. The sets and the costumes and the acting is just amazing. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Then I've got my 2 Chokonose Demon Slayer figures. So I've got Zenitsu and Inosuke taking a break, having a little lunchtime. This is a little jewelry box that has like the jewelry I wear the most often in it, which is really convenient because it's right next to the vanity. And then in behind it here, I've got this little like duck goose statue. He's just wearing a little hat. He's a good lad. This is my manga shelf. I don't really collect manga because I don't read it, but these are just series that I love so much. So I've got the box set of the Kodansha Comics Sailor Moon. And this is actually pretty special because if I can get it out, first edition is actually signed by the original voice actors of Sailor Moon, Luna, and Artemis. So that's pretty special. Never getting rid of this. I've also got the 2 volumes of Codename Sailor V, and then I've got the entire Ouran High School Host Club collection by Shoujo Beat. I bought the box set because I loved the show so much and it had extra content. Like literally the first season of the anime covers about like not even half of the manga, and I just love the characters so much. I wanted to see how the story ended, and so we got the whole gang. And then this is my Japanese version of the first Black Butler that I got in Japan. I love Black Butler. I'm considering collecting the manga because I really don't think we're ever gonna get a season 4. So I'm considering it, but for now I just have this one lone Japanese version. And then on the end here, I've just got my little Plushie, and he's eating a little ice cream sandwich and having a good time. Shelf on the bottom here is mostly plushies. There's some other stuff on the end here. So I've got my Baymax. I loved Big Hero 6, one of my favorite Disney movies. My little Waddle Dee that I got in Japan. That's a little koala boy. That's Sriracha. He was a sock monkey that my boyfriend gave to me when he was dying. Thankfully, he is now not dying anymore. He's fine. But Sriracha, he's just there. I've got my Yukata Minnie Mouse from Tokyo Disney back there. One of my Valentine Squishmallows, his name is Blueberry. And then I've got my 4 little walrus plushies that I got in Yokohama. John, George, Ringo, and Paul just sit there and judge everybody. We love them. This is my Snoopy Cookie Jar. I can't show you what's in it. Obviously, as you can tell by the wallpaper in behind here, I love Snoopy. I have a Snoopy problem. Anytime we get Snoopy mugs in at work, doesn't matter what it is, if it's got Snoopy on it, I want it. And then this is just my little chill box. It's just got like stim toys in it, like some stress balls, some like squishy things, and also my Nintendo Switch. So this is what I do when I'm dissociating, I have a dissociative disorder, or when I'm really anxious. That's what that's for. That is my James Charles Morphe palette. Don't clock me, got it as a gift. I know we hate James Charles, but it's actually a really useful palette because I'm a cosplayer and I need like every color under the sun, I'm sorry. And this is my Vanity. Hi, you can kind of see me in the mirror here. But I just love the very like Rococo, French, provincial almost kind of like lines on this piece. I'll get up a little bit closer, you'll be able to see the details a little better. So these beautiful drawers are very intricately carved with this really awesome rose design. When I was looking for a vanity, I saw this one and immediately knew it was the one I had to have. It's just so girly and feminine, and it really just fits the whole vibe of the room that I'm going for. And the little stool. The stool is so cute. I'm trying to like stay out of frame because I don't have any makeup on, but hi. I've decorated a little bit to the left here. This is my blue light, which I have because I get sad in the winter. And it kind of helps me to feel like I don't want to die. So there's that. And this is my Kokeshi Doll from Japan. She is also one of my most prized possessions. Definitely gonna have her forever. And then this little rose trinket box type thing has like my hair products and my perfumes in it. So if you ever wondered what I smell like, Dolce Garden and Victor and Rolf Bonbon. Not that you really wanted to know that, but now you do. On the left side here, I've just got a little letter holder that I got from HomeSense to put all my palettes on. And then kind of in behind here a little bit, I just have a backstock of the face mask that I use on a pretty regular basis. This Tony Moly one is pretty good. Some people might be curious about how I've organized it. So this guy is like complexion products. The one on the left here is powders, so it's like blush and like face powder. The top one here is mostly eye makeup, so I've got like my brow pencil, got some mascara in there somewhere, glitter, the essential, never leave the house without it. This bottom one here is all lip products. As you can see, I am an avid NYX stan. I've got like 50,000 colors of this butter gloss, so love that for me. This large one is just kind of like grooming stuff. So that's like my eyebrow shaping kit. There's some extra makeup brushes, scissors for like cutting boxes open and stuff. And Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. Gotta tell you, this thing actually saved my lips. I know there's been some bad reviews about it, but I like it. And specifically this mint chocolate color, I like a lot. This side on the top is all like hair stuff. So like all my bows and clips and bandanas and stuff. This bottom one is just kind of like miscellaneous stuff. It's got like all my lashes for cosplay, some extra blushes, extra like powders and stuff that I don't use on a daily basis. Got some pretty cool framed art prints up above the vanity as well. This one is a really cool holographic print of a lotus by Art by Lyra, I believe. And then this one here is a really cool Sailor Moon one. It's kind of like an oil painting-esque, like if you get up really close to it in person, you can kind of see the brush strokes and everything. And I just think it is so beautiful. And then I've just got this little postcard that I picked up on Vancouver Island, and it's of a Luna moth. I don't know, I just think they look really cool. I like art prints, but I don't really collect them over much, only the ones that I really, really like, and so I like having a curated collection of my favorite pieces of art. My wind chimes are kind of getting in the way of this shot here, but this is the final wall in my room. You hardly, if ever, see this in my videos because it's usually behind me while I'm filming. Obviously the window is closed for glare reasons, but usually it gives in a lot of nice natural light. Obviously, as far as window dressing goes, I've got these really killer pink velvet curtains. I just think they are so cool. I love velvet and I love these curtains. We have tall ceilings, so they're a little bit short for this room, but honestly, I don't mind that much. And to decorate my curtain rod, I just have this really cute floral garland from Michaels. It was like $12. Honestly, I'm not a fan of the metal color on my finials and on the actual curtain rod, and so this is kind of my way of like trying to cover it up a little bit. But even if I did have a cute curtain rod, I think that I would still do this because it turned out really freaking cute. Just kind of like an overview of what's going on here. This is another organizational center for me. So these are kind of like the junk drawers of the room as well. They've just kind of got like various clutter and such in there. Just got some things hanging on the hooks down here. That is the hoodie I wear the most often. It's my college sweatshirt. Got some like various jackets, like my patch jacket. There's a pink leather one down in below. And on these two, we have the shoulder bags I use the most often and my Cinnamoroll backpack. That is my cute vintage-inspired pink fan, because it's very hot in my house right now. We don't have AC, and obviously, when one has a shelf, one must adorn it with trinkets, so I've got my Plushie little Cinnamoroll here. He feels like a Squishmallow, which is awesome, and I also really love Cinnamoroll, so place of honor for him. These are two little glass pieces. This one's a jellyfish that I got from a gift shop somewhere. I think maybe Mount St. Helens. And then this one here was actually gifted to me by my very talented friend who made it for me for my birthday. This is just another teacup. It is the last remaining teacup from my teacup collection, and it just has some like perfume testers in it and such. Got this cute little wooden sign, little paper crane I folded that's perched there, and some little woodland animals. This one is like flocked, so it's kind of fuzzy. Gift from my boyfriend. And then this little guy, it's just a little hedgehog boy. We love him. Got some little fake flowers in behind there. I felt like it needed some height to balance it out, and so I just stuck them in a jar behind there. And I just got some art prints above. That is my Kirby art print. It's done by the same artist that did my Sailor Moon one. And then I've just got a small collection of Pokemon cards that are sentimental to me. This one, I actually had given to me when I was like 5 on the playground at recess, because I told this girl that I liked Piplup, and she's like, I have so many Piplups, here you go. So, special. And then my last little bit here is my reading chair. I actually got this chair for free when my friend was moving. And actually, this was also like one of the worst days of my life ever. So it's kind of funny now to look at it. It used to be this really, really ugly fire engine red, but I painted it with some white matte spray paint and like covered it with a blanket and everything, and now it is my reading chair. Obviously, I have adorned it as I have with everything in this room. So right now I've got this really, really cute like daisy throw on it, which I just think is amazing. Like, I saw this at my job and I was like, I need to have that. I definitely need to have that. I'm on a yellow kick right now. I've always loved yellow, but I'm trying to like slowly incorporate more. So we've got this really, really awesome throw. Just got an assortment of pillows as well. And this is a flippy octopus that my boyfriend gave me for my birthday. So he can be happy or he can be angry. And then underneath here, we've got my big boy Bolt, whom I have had for like years upon years. He's huge. Like, he doesn't even fit in the frame, he's so big. I've had him for so long. When the movie first came out in 2008 is when I got this, and so he's been well loved. He stands guard. And that, for better or worse, is my bedroom. I'm glad I finally got to share this little like piece of myself with you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, there is a subscribe button down below and a like button that you could utilize if you so wish. But again, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the flip side.